Hello, welcome back. My name is Frida of Frida Speaks, and this is a little bit different. Usually on Thursdays at noon, there is a previously recorded video that drops for viewing. And so for the month of December, I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to go live at noon. Same leadership series. Again, for the month of December, the topic is integrity. Specifically, it's titled The Influence of Integrity. The Influence of Integrity. My hope is that at the end of the 4 weeks that we would have a better appreciation for integrity, that we would understand that integrity influences our life and influences our relationships and influences how people respond to us accordingly. So how we embrace integrity and live it out on a daily basis will absolutely spill over into other areas of our life. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about your personal life, your work life, your servant life in the community. Your integrity is absolutely going to be part of your character. It's going to be part of how you carry out business and carry yourself. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And my hope is that by going live, we also keep these a little shorter. But again, I want to thank everybody for your support. Thank you for viewing the videos on Facebook or YouTube, for the comments and the feedback. Certainly means a lot. So please share this content if you know of someone that you think it could support. Alrighty. So as I said earlier, when we talk about integrity, it is a character attribute, and integrity reflects your values. Integrity reflects your moral compass. Integrity reflects honesty, how you make decisions. A lot of people might use it synonymously with value-based living, but integrity is important. You know, at the end of the day, your integrity is what shapes who you are. It's what keeps you with boundaries, right? It's your own personal convictions, boundaries, etc. make up your integrity and how you walk those out day in and day out. When I talk about how integrity is demonstrated, it comes through our thoughts, it comes through our words, it comes through our motives, it comes through our actions and our deeds, what we do. And then lastly, it comes through how we show up every single day, how we show up in every single season. And by season, I don't necessarily mean spring, winter, fall, but seasons of highs, seasons of lows, seasons of going without, or seasons of remorse, or seasons of experiencing death, to having seasons of great accomplishments, right? Our integrity is that common thread throughout all those seasons. Additionally, integrity shows up in all the different environments. So if I show up, my integrity shows up. If I show up at home, integrity shows up. If I show up at work, my integrity shows up. If I show up at church, my integrity shows up. If I show up to volunteer, my integrity shows up. If I show up to shop in the market or the mall, my integrity shows up with me. Okay? It's not something I'm going to turn on and turn off. Integrity is part of how I conduct myself. It's part of how I make my decisions. It's part of how I communicate. It's part of how I engage with others. Okay? And so for week 1, which is today, I want to talk about the influence of integrity and how it facilitates trust, right? Because the title of the series is The Influence of Integrity. So in the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be talking about different areas where our integrity will influence whatever that topic is. So my integrity will absolutely influence and shape how trust is developed, maintained, etc., between other people, between strangers. You know, trust is developed over time. And so I have a level of trust with loved ones. I have a level of trust with friends. I have a level of trust with coworkers. I have a level of trust with who I worship with. And even when you meet a stranger, there is a level of trust. It is a very small level of trust, but there is some level of trust that even permits the engagement to take place. Okay? So, of course, we're going to kick it off with an acronym, and that acronym is TRUST. T.R.U.S.T. So here are 5 things that I think when you walk in integrity, how it's going to influence trust. It's going to influence trust first and foremost by the letter T. Your words, talk. T is for talk. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says, let your yes be yes, and your no be no. And at the end of the day, I think that scripture really captures, commit to what you say. Don't whiffle and waffle and change your mind often and, let people down and make promises that you really can't keep or are unable to keep. Let your yes be decisive. Yes, I can. Yes, I will show up. Yes, I will be there. No, I won't be there. It's okay to say no. It's okay to decline. It's better to say no than say yes and really act out a no or deliver a no. Why? Because that impacts the view and the perspective of your integrity. That will impact how that person is able to trust you or what areas they can trust you in. I don't know if I can trust them to give me a ride. They may or may not show up. I don't know if I can trust them in this area or with this responsibility. And so for your relationships, you want to maximize the level of trust that can develop within that relationship. And part of that trust comes with the letter T, our talk. So my integrity is absolutely shaped by my words. What am I putting out? What checks am I issuing that I'm absolutely willing to cash with my actions? The second letter is R, which I'm going to say is reliability, reliable. Am I reliable? Again, trust requires reliability. Reliability is demonstrated over time. Can I rely on you? Not only can I rely on you to show up when you said you would show up, not only can I rely on you to do what you committed to do, but reliability also has a quality component, which means you're going to come when you said you were going to come. You're going to do what you said you were going to do, but you're also going to do it and deliver it with a level of excellence. So think about this in a workplace. Think about this in a workplace. As a team member, as a peer, as a subordinate, even as a leader, your colleagues and coworkers need to know that you are reliable. That is going to fuel your integrity in a positive way. If people know that I can count on them, not only can I count on them to deliver to their contributions, to their goals and objectives, but they're going to do it in a timely manner. And not only are they going to do it and it's going to be submitted in a timely manner, it is going to be of a quality level. It is going to be complete. It is going to be without errors. It is going to be without the necessity of do-overs. So we can walk out our integrity through how we carry out our work. Are we reliable? Are we reliable to come to meetings? Are we reliable to come prepared? Are we reliable to have completed our action items? Are we reliable to show up to work? Are we reliable to show up on time to work? Are we reliable to show up in the proper attire? Having worked in manufacturing for many years, there was a required attire, safety glasses, earplugs, safety shoes, Part of my integrity is how I walked in that building. Did I disregard rules and regulations, or was I compliant? That is reliable. You, the you in trust, I'm saying, is undergird. Undergird. I can facilitate trust through my integrity when I am committed to undergirding others. And what do I mean by undergird? I mean to strengthen them and support them. Does my integrity reflect preferring another person, being willing to help another person, being willing to strengthen another person, being willing to give voice to another person, being willing to endorse another person, being willing to give credit to another person? In the workplace, I think this is a huge, huge, huge opportunity, because oftentimes, depending on the work environment and the company, etc., there can be this me mindset and behavior. It can also be an upping of one versus another. Like, if I don't showcase my talents and my contributions, then I won't be considered for the raise. I won't be considered for the promotion, blah, 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 blah. And so as a result of that, we dismiss colleagues and coworkers. We don't give them credit. We don't support them. We don't give them a shout out for their contributions, what they did. We present it as though we did it alone. That happens way too often. And it's subtle. It's very subtle ways that it happens. But again, if I'm walking in integrity and I want to facilitate and influence my trust factor with other people, then I absolutely am going to consciously think about how I can undergird other people in relationships, in marriages, friends and family. How can I undergird you? Think about that. How can I support you in this way? When I have someone that helps me with the different images, I want them to know I appreciate them. When I get feedback on their creation, yes, I say thank you to the person that's sharing it with me, but I pass it on. I say, hey, do you know people are checking out the website and this is what they're saying? I want her confidence to be boosted. I want them to know what they created reflects a quality job, reflects what she envisioned, right? The S, steadfast. Steadfast. Your integrity has to reflect being steadfast to help the trust factor grow. Stand firm. So if on Monday, this is the declaration and how you make decisions, but on Wednesday, you have a whole different method of decision making to your team, to your subordinates, to your colleagues, to your coworkers, to your spouse, to your family. Well, you just said this, especially children, right? When you're raising children and you're giving them rules and boundaries and you're teaching them different things, we want to be consistent in that messaging. We want to be consistent in what is the standard, right? Because you're trying to ingrain that standard in them. You're trying to help them with developing a positive habit. And so we can't foster trust in that area or habit forming to be a support if we're inconsistent in our guidance and in our direction. So we have to be able to stand firm. Whatever your values are, whatever your morals are, stand firm and true to them. Stand firm and true to, and let them shape how you carry yourself day to day to day, environment to environment to environment, circumstance to circumstance to circumstance. If you're a person of faith, be a person of faith on Monday. Be a person of faith on Wednesday. Be a person of faith on Sunday. Be a person of faith at 11 p.m. Be a person of faith at 6 a.m. Be a person of faith at work. Be a person of faith in the grocery store. Be a person of faith at trust. Be a person of faith when you're upset. This is how we establish the track record of walking and living in integrity. This is how we facilitate trust with people. This is how we demonstrate being steadfast. Okay? The last letter, T. Tested by time. If we want to facilitate trust in our relationships with people and walk in integrity, then we have to demonstrate being tested and proven by time. Trust takes time. Trust will take years. Now, trust can be ruined in a moment, but to build and establish trust, it takes time. Think about your closest relationship that you have. Think about that person that knows you inside and out. Think about that individual that you would say truly walks in and with integrity. It's because it's been tested over time. I know they will show up. I know they will answer the phone. I know they will do what they said they would do. I know they are a straight shooter. They're going to give me an honest answer, or they're going to give me a detailed answer. Whatever that thing is, it is because it has been tested over time. You have seen them in different scenarios. You have seen them in different situations. You have seen them through different emotions. You have seen them through highs and through lows. That is how your integrity is strengthened. So if you think about a muscle, how you work a muscle by repetition, and you work a muscle by adding weight. And so your integrity is strengthened and solidified and demonstrated when it is tested over time, when it is exposed to different scenarios over time, and it becomes real to you and it becomes real to others. I can say, I believe this and I believe that and I believe this all day long and say that it shapes my life. But how will I truly know? When it comes a time of testing, when it comes a time of proving, when it comes a time where I have to say, okay, in this situation, it was easy to do X, Y, and Z. But in that situation, it didn't come as natural. It wasn't as easy. Why? Because I need to build it up. I need to be aware of it. And I need to ask myself, why did it change? Why did it shift? Was it the audience? Was it the fear of rejection? Was it the fear of consequences? Understanding that, okay? So this has been lesson 1, and we're under 15 minutes, but I am going to give some highlights. Again, this is a 4-week series. The influence of integrity. In week 1, I'm saying that your integrity will influence the trust factor in your relationships. How we influence in a positive way the trust factor in our relationships is T, let our yea be yea and our nay be nay. How are we talking? The R, are we reliable? Not only showing up and doing what we said we would do, but also how is it completed? The quality of that which we are doing. You, undergird, how are we helping others? It can't always be about us. How are we endorsing others? How are we strengthening others? Their reputation, strengthening them physically, strengthening them through support and help so that they have great outcomes. Especially in the workplace. I just want to emphasize that. There's an opportunity to help others. S, being steadfast. Being steadfast. Standing firm to your convictions. Standing firm through different seasons, different environments. That is going to prove your integrity. And that is going to increase your trust factor. And then lastly, test by time. Integrity is tested over time. Integrity is proven over time. Integrity becomes a strength over time. Similarly with trust. Trust happens over time. Trust is intentional. Trust has to be protected. So that's it. Week 1, we're done. We're going to make these quick. Now, of course, these lessons are going to mean the most when you dig deep. When you dig deep. Are you a person that's described as having integrity? If so, why? If not, why not? And how do you change that? with regard to your integrity, is it helping, which it should be, your trust factor? Do people trust you? Are you a person that can be trusted? Are there areas of your life where you can't be trusted? And how can you increase or improve your integrity in that area? So I think back, and I'll give this last example. When I was young, much younger, in college, my money management was pretty bad. I'd spend it, I'd make it, I'd spend it. Save a little bit. And then in college, college campus, they're there. I don't know how it seems like money or credit comes to a college student so easily, but it did. And so you get this because you can, not that you need it, not that you even understand what credit is, at least in my case. And so I was not as responsible with money. And so very early on in my career, credit, late payments, minimal payments, didn't understand the credit system or how credit and money management is absolutely part of your integrity, is absolutely part of your reputation, is absolutely part of your character. Okay, so you get into these cycles of spending, not paying off in a timely manner, getting more debt to pay off debt, just craziness, crazy. So that was an area where my integrity factor, it wasn't strong. I'm sure there were some debtors, people I owed that were saying, no, you could tighten up in this area. Your integrity in this area is not lining up with what the person that you desire to be. So what do? I work on it. Am I more trustworthy and walking in integrity regarding finances today versus at 22? Absolutely. 180-degree difference. And it is measurable. It is measurable. And so your integrity and your trust factor over time in different areas should be measurable. Is it improving? Why or why not? How do you know? What's the evidence? So in the evidence of money management, it might be credit score. It might be savings account. It might be purchasing power, whatever. And so similarly, there should be metrics that indicate that your integrity viewpoint truly is where you think it is, okay? And it should be fostering trust with that relationship, whether it's an institution, an organization, a person, a family, whatever. Okay, so that's been week 1. Thank you for tuning in live. If you want to catch the replay, you can here on Facebook, and it will also be uploaded to YouTube. Tune in next Thursday at noon live. We'll have part 2 of the influence of integrity.